we're going to start with a bit of grammar, and then we'll jump to the verse. This might be a more organized way to go. We were discussing yesterday the idea of a Hebrew root, and we used the letters Pei, Ayin, Lamed as a paradigm root. Paradigm means a general example that covers a big universe. So in the universe of Hebrew roots, the Pei, Ayin, Lamed stands for the three letters of every single Hebrew root in the Hebrew language. For example, we have the root Bo, Bet, Vav, I, Aleph. The Bet is the Pei radical. The Bet is in the Pei position, the Vav is in the Ayin position, and the Aleph is in the Lamed position. So why is it helpful to substitute Pei, Ayin, Lamed for Bet, Vav, Aleph? It's helpful because we can describe something unique that's going on in our root. What's unique is that in the second position there's a Vav. And we call this kind of a root where the second radical is a Vav, we call this root an Ayin Vav root, because in the Ayin position it holds a Vav. So we don't need to beat that horse any deader. We can now ask the question, what is special about this Ayin Vav root where the second radical is a Vav? What's special about it is the Vav is very weak and it tends to fall out. So in the Hebrew verses and in the Hebrew language, we frequently only see the Bet and the Aleph. So we need to become familiar with this family of roots where the Vav drops out. We have Bo is one of the roots where the Vav drops out. Another Ayin Vav verb is Nus, to flee. And we're going to discover, or we did discover in one of the verses from Samuel, Vayanusu, where the Nus is our root. The Vaya means and he or and they fled. Vayanusu, and they fled. Another Ayin Vav root is mus or mut, to die. And in one of our verses we saw Ushne v'nei Eli metu, and the two sons of Eli died, where we only have the mem and the tav, and we've lost the vav, or the shuruk. The shuruk at the end is a sign of the plural. So mes means he died, metu means they died. Ushne v'nei Eli metu, the two sons of Eli died. Nancy, here's a little quiz for you.
Okay.
Which position? We have the Pei position, the Ayin position, and the Lamed position.
Yes.
Which position is the Bet in?
The Bet is in the position of the Pei.
Correct. Which position is the Aleph in?
Aleph is in the position of the Lamed.
And why do we call this kind of a root Bo? Why do we call it the Ayin Vav family?
We call it the Ayin Vav family because of Ayin and Vav. Ayin and Vav, they replace the Ayin and the Lamed.
So the The Ayin Vav family features the Vav in the Ayin position. The Vav is in the Ayin position.
The verb. Oh, okay, the verb is in the iron position.
Right. And there are some other roots like that. Noose, for example, the Vav is in the Ayin position.
Okay.
And Moot, to die, the Vav is in the Ayin position. And here's another one, Roots. The Vav
Okay.
is in the Ayin position.
Okay.
And what is unique about this family of Ayin Vav is that the Vav is weak and it tends to fall away. So we have to get used to seeing basically two-letter roots and understanding that they're in this Ayin Vav family.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's an introduction. This is all brand new material and taking us to another level in terms of giving us some tools to identify roots that we can look up in a dictionary. Um, Here are some typical conjugations of the root bow. Uh, I'm going to
May I
ask.
ask? May
I'm
I ask?
I'm sorry.
May I ask
Yeah,
which consonant is most used in Hebrew? Like the percentage. Let me say an example. The verb, is it high in percentage being used in Hebrew language?
I have no idea. I have no idea.
Okay.
Um, but I would like you to read these conjugations. Um, these are all in the future tense. Like future tense features um, Aleph for I, Avo means I will come. Then the Tav for you, Tavo, you will come. Then the Yud for he, Yavo, he will come. Then the Nun, Navo, we will come. And then for they will come, it's Yavo U. And you'll see this U all the time. It's the sign of the plural. Yavo U, they will come. Um,
Okay.
and then in the biblical Hebrew, we often see, and I mentioned this before, the Vav with a patach under it, Va. It's called the Vav Hahipuch, the overturning Vav. So if Yavo means he will come, Vayavo means and he came. So it's very, very helpful to understand the Avo, Tavo, Yavo, Navo, Yavou, because in the biblical narratives, we see these all the time with a Vav in front of it. Um, why don't you actually recite these? I think you get it that it's always in is the first this is the first vowel. It's always a comma. So it's avo, tavo. Do you want to recite those, Nancy?
Okay. Oh, it's always with the aleph. There is always a kamat.
Yeah, even with the tav and the yud, it's always going to be a kamatz under that first letter.
Okay. Okay. Avo, tavo. Okay. Okay. Avo means I will come.
Good.
Tavo means you will come.
Right.
And then Yavo means I will come.
He,
Okay.
right. He will come.
He will come. And then Navo means we will come.
Right.
Doesn't mean that na. It's we.
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
Navo will come. So if I say vo, does it make sense?
If you just say vo,
Yes.
it means it's the command form. Actually, it's a bet. It would be bo. It's the command form. It's come.
Oh, that's bo.
Right.
Okay. Okay, Navo. And then they will come means Yavo.
Very nice. And we had in a I don't do I have a I don't have a bit of Hebrew on this page, but we'll see it when we get to the verse. Then we have nous, to flee. And here you see that same idea, like you have Yavou. Do you see Yanusu?
Okay. They will flee.
Right. And then when we say Vayanusu, it means they fled. It turns it back to the past tense.
Via Nusu, they fled.
Right. Right.
Yanusu, they flee.
They will flee.
They will flee. Yanusu, they will flee. Via Nusu, they fled.
Exactly.
Okay.
And it's very, very common in the Hebrew Bible. It's all over the place. This Vaya, Va'a, Va, Vana. Um, so once you get the hang of it, you have a lot of Hebrew under your you have a lot of Hebrew uh, under your command. Let's put it that way. Yeah.
Okay.
Vayanusu ish le'ohalav, and each man fled to his tent.
Okay.
Then we have the Shoresh Mut. This is also in the Ayin Vav family, Mut, to die. Now this one isn't featuring the Amut, Tamut, Yamut. It's staying in the past tense. So Mace is he died. Mesu is they died. So again, when you get used to this u at the end is the plural. Mesu they died.
Okay. May I ask again? Sorry.
Yeah,
Because m- um, this one, mood.
right.
Uh, there's a Talmud. Is it in that Talmud?
That's
Maybe
with
the
it.
mood the same meaning as this one?
No, that's a dalet at the
Oh,
end.
with mood, with the Dalet or Talmud.
Right.
Yeah, yes, correct.
It's from the word. It's from the Shoresh Lamed Mem Daled Lamad to learn.
Okay.
We make a noun out of it by adding the tav. There's my friend. Talmud is right, and the next uh, ayin vav root is roots to run. And here's another one that follows our pattern. We have yarats, so we could have arats, tarats, yarats,
Meaning they
narats.
ran.
Right, right. Yaratsu,
Okay.
vayaratsu, or
They ran.
vayarats. Yeah,
Via Ratu, they ran.
right.
Okay. Mhm.
In this case, we have yarats means he will run.
Oh,
Vayarats means he ran.
okay.
Vayarats ish Binyamin, and the man from the tribe of Benjamin ran Mehamaracha from the battle.
Okay.
Vayarats, yeah. Hmm.
May I ask then, how do we get it that there's a he ran?
So it follows the same um, general rule as Vaya, like Avo, I will come. It would be Arats. Actually, it's going to be Yarrats. It
Root.
doesn't follow exactly. It's a little bit different in that case. Like like we have Avo, we have the Cholam standing in for that Vav, Avo. In the case of the Shorish roots, it would be Yarrats. I will run. Tarrats, you will run. Yarrats, he will run. Now,
So
why? Yeah,
ya means he.
right, right.
Oh,
He
okay.
will. He will. It's the
Yeah,
future.
he will. Oh, okay.
Now, why doesn't it? Why is it Vayarats instead of Vayarats?
Is it feminine or masculine?
That's a great theory, but that's probably not the answer.
Oh,
It The answer is that certain rules in Hebrew grammar force the u to become a kamatz, and I'm not an expert in some of these rules, but certain verbs become a little bit irregular because if we were to say he will run, it's yarutz. But for some reason, the Hebrew, when we add that vav, it doesn't stay vayarutz, it becomes vayarats. So it's a little bit irregular, and you just have to learn these irregular roots. If I discover some rules to confuse you, I'll bring them in. Yeah,
so may I ask then? Because with ya is he will.
right.
So what if it's a she? It
It's
will be
it's vatarats with a tav.
or with the tavatarats. Okay.
And that is confusing. And the reason I didn't include that is because it's confusing because the same like we have tavo, you will come.
Okay.
That also means she will come. The
Oh,
same three letters mean you will come and she will come.
okay.
And it's the same with vatarats or it's the same with taruts. That can mean either you will come or she will come.
Mm. Hey.
So it's a matter of context, you know hopefully you know what the subject is and you know whether you're saying you or she.
Okay.
Many languages have issues like that where you need to understand from the context what something means.
Okay. Then you estimate which one it
Right,
is.
right.
Mm.
Okay, so having presented fully some grammar topics, we move to the verse itself, and we read with open eyes, you could say. We're going to take a look at verse Pet Zion, 9 plus 7 is 16. We're going to look at verse 16, and we're going to see not only the ayin vav roots, but we will do one ayin vav root at the end. But we're going to see this vayo, this vav, and then the yud, which stands for he will, and we begin to connect with some meaning. Nancy, do you want to read the verse for us?
From where you are standing.
Yes.
Okay. Vayomer haoish.
Ha'ish.
Sorry, haish el Eli
Nice.
Anochi Abba Min Hama Hamaarad Hamaaracha.
Well done. Hama'aracha. And I'll tell you a secret. Johanna also did a good job on this word in the last class. Um,
Okay.
it's almost like you can put those two letters together. Hamaracha.
Hamaracha.
Hamaracha. Yeah,
Hamaracha.
right. Va ani.
Va'ani Min Hamaracha
Nice.
Chasti.
That's a nun.
Nancy, sorry. It seems like it's me. Nancy. Nas oh na nas T. Sorry.
Right.
T.
And you recognize this root from our grammar lesson. The root is nous.
Oh,
And the shuruk has dropped out. That pay radical, that middle second position radical has dropped out. So it becomes nas. And then we add this tav yud at the end, which is a past tense for the first person singular. Nasti means I fled, I ran away. Nasti. Ani nasti, I ran away.
okay.
Hayom.
Hayom. Vayomer. Me. Haya. Hadavar. Beni.
Well done. And the other verb that occurs twice is vayomer.
Okay.
And so the technique we're learning is how to isolate out the root so we can look up the root in the dictionary. So we've learned that the va is a prefix that means and also changes the tense back to the past tense. So that's a grammatical prefix that we can eliminate. And we also know that the yud stands for he will. So that's a grammatical bit that we can eliminate. So what we're left with is aleph mem resh as our root.
Okay.
And you can look that root up in the dictionary.
Yes, Amir. Okay.
Have you ever done any looking up in the dictionary? Have you done any of that, Nancy?
No, not myself. I haven't done
Okay.
that.
Okay. So this is the way it goes. There's an excellent dictionary, and I tried to share it yesterday, and I've shared it a few times. It's called the Klein Etymological Dictionary of Rabbinic Hebrew, or let's see if we can find it. Did somebody join or leave, or Johanna?
It was me. Yeah,
Oh,
because
okay. Uh-huh.
I had some problem with the screen. I wasn't able to see.
Okay. So let's see if we can find this dictionary and look up aleph mem resh.
The Safariya.
Yeah, yes, it's in Safariya. It's a wonderful, wonderful website. And it contains this Klein dictionary, among other reference sources. Okay, we're here. We're in Safariya and we're in the Klein dictionary. So now I switch my keyboard to Hebrew, and we type aleph mem resh, and we have Amar, Omer. Sometimes it doesn't hit on the exact word you're looking for, but it's close enough that once you get into the page of the dictionary, you're going to find your roots. So let's go with here we have Amer, which means a word. Let's move up a little bit. Here's Amar, to be high. He tamar, he boasted. Let's look at the first meaning. Here we have the first meaning, Amar, to say. What is this call? Call is the name of our first verb class. We've talked a little bit about these verb classes, um, active verb classes, passive verb classes. So call is the simple first verb class is called call. Sometimes it's called pa'al. And it relates to what we were studying in our grammar discussion. Pa'al is the first
Okay.
verb class, pa'al, the active verb class. It's also known sometimes as call.
Okay.
So the meanings of
Ramon,
Amar can be, yeah, Joseph, it sounds like your mic is back.
I've decided to log in with my phone.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Do you have any questions so far on what we've been presenting, or is this fairly clear? This process, basically, Joseph, it's the process of trying to identify the root. So when we have, for example, in our verse from Shmuel, we have Vayomer. We know that the va is a prefix that means and, so we can get rid of the va. We know that the yud means he or he will, so we can get rid of the yud. And so what we're left with is our shorish, our root, aleph mem resh. And then we
Yes.
right, and then we can go to the dictionary, and if God is with us, we can find Amar in the dictionary. And now we've become not just Hebrew readers, but Hebrew translators. So, and then we can learn the different meanings of Amar depending on what verb class it is, what binyan it is. So the very first verb class is called Kal, the simple verb class Amar. He said, told, uttered. He commanded, ordered. He said in his heart, he thought. Then the next verb class is called Nifal. It's a passive verb class where the subject is not known. Ne'emar, it was said. We don't know who said it, but it was said. Ne'emar, shalom lacha. It was said, peace be to you. Ne'emar, it was said. So that's the jumping board. That's the launch pad, is the kal, the amar, and then we take it through all the different verb classes: nifal, he feel, heat pa'el. It's a life's work, it's to devote yourself to the Hebrew and to understanding the different meanings in the different verb classes. But this is the door that's opening now to you guys in terms of your Hebrew study to become translators of Hebrew. And we're going to take this step by step very slowly so that it's very sweet and we enjoy it every step of the way. So let's go back to the verse now, and let me translate what we've read so far. Ve'eli ben Tishim ushmona shana, and Eli the high priest was 98 years old. Ve'inav kama, and his eyes were fixed in a blank stare. Velo yachol lirot, and he couldn't see. Vayomer ha'ish el Eli, and this man that from the tribe of Benjamin who came from the battle, it's understood in the tradition that it was Saul. Saul had yet to be anointed king, but it was Saul who ran from the battle against the Philistines to let Eli and let the people of Shiloh know that there had been a great devastation in the battle. So this man, this Ish, Vayomer Ha'ish, and it was Saul who said El Eli to Eli, Anochi haba min hamaracha. It is is I who came from the battle. Vani min hamaracha nasti, and it is I who has fled from the battle. Hayom, today. Vayomer, and Eli said, Mehaya hadavar b'ni, what has happened, my son? Okay. Joseph, we're ready for some more recitation if you'd like to take this next verse, Yud Zion. Let me.
Yes, I can.
Okay, great.
Via on,
We would say Vaya'an.
via an, Hamvaseir, Vayomer, Nas, Israel, Lifnei, Pelishtim,
Nice.
Vegam, Mageifa, Gedolah,
Nice.
Haita, Vaam,
Nice.
Vegam, Shnei, Banecha,
Vanacha.
Vanecha. Oh, you put stress in the segol.
Yeah.
Vanecha.
Vanecha. So,
May 2,
May 2, right.
Hafni, Ufinhas,
Nice. Hofni
and Phinehas,
Right.
Va'aron, Ha'elohim, Nilkaha.
Really nice. Let me point out something also that's fun and very accessible in terms of our translation skills. It's something we've mentioned in a couple of classes prior. When we have a hey at the beginning of a word, do you recall what the hey patach means, Joseph? Ha.
Ha means the.
Right. It's the article ha, the. Exactly right. Good.
Yes.
So it's a good clue that we have a noun following it. It's the something. Hamvaser. So everything after the ha is a noun that we can look up in the dictionary. So for example, we could look up Nivasir in the dictionary. So let's see what Nivasir means. So let's see, we have mem, vet, samech. Was it samech or sin? A sin. Oops. Resh. Mivusar, Mivasir. Here's Mivasir. What does Nivasir mean, Joseph? Oh, I'm not sharing. I didn't share any of that with you guys. That's no fun. Let's try this again. I'm sorry. We're in the Klein Dictionary, Joseph, which is in the Safariya website. Safariya is an awesome website that contains a lot of good reference tools and great translations of the Bible. Let's try again. We're looking up the word Mivasir. Mem,
Right. I
that,
think
sin, resh. Are you seeing it?
yes, but I have some problem here.
Oh,
Okay, I now see.
okay. So here's the definition of Mivasir. Do you want to read that for us, Joseph?
Yes, messenger of good tidings
Right,
or herald.
right. Very good.
Uh, Surname of Elijah.
Uh-huh. So it's called a part.
Bisair.
Right, Bisair. That's the short.
What a joyful message.
Right, Bisair. To bring a message, and specifically of good tidings. Besoros tovos is how we say it in traditional Jewish. Besoros tovos means good tidings. And the mivusar is the one that receives the good tidings. So ani mevi besoros tovos liosef. I bring good tidings to Joseph. Joseph mivusar. Joseph hu mivusar. Joseph is the recipient of good news. That a thousand new students from America have registered for Hebrew for Beginners, all offering large weekly fees. Besoros tovos, good tidings. So I think that's what I've got for us tonight. Let me translate that second verse. Vayan hamvaser vayomer. And the messenger, namely Saul, answered and he said, Nas Yisrael lifnei Plishtim. Israel has, Vayan hamvaser vayomer. And the messenger answered and said, Nas Yisrael lifnei Plishtim. Israel has fled before the Philistines. Vigam magefa gedola haisa ba'am. And also a great affliction has hit the Jews. They got beat up in battle, is what we're talking about. A magefa gedola, they got beat up in battle. Vigam shnei vanecha mesu, and also your two sons, Eli, have died. Hofni ufinchas, va'aron ha'Elohim nilkacha, and the holy ark of God has been taken. Okay. So nice work, Nancy and Joseph. Johanna, thank you for joining again, and thank you for all the support that all of you are given as leaders, making it possible to have these breakout rooms. We're having a little bit of a lull in terms of new readers, but something tells me that we're going to have a surge. I've also been speaking with somebody about creating a newsletter, which will reach out to everybody that's registered for the program and hopefully inspire more of them to join us. But in the meantime, again, thank you very much. It's so fun to be able to have a class like this with the leaders and to be able to get a little deeper into the